Hi everyone, it's Corey. I'm back with one more DIY tutorial for Halloween. This is the one that I'm going to be tomorrow for Halloween, and I'm really excited about it. It's probably a little late for any of you to make this for this year, but I would like to inspire you maybe to do this next year. This is a really great transformation. I went out on Monday and found all of the things that I needed, and I went crazy and stayed up for hours on end and made this happen, and I really hope you guys enjoy it. It's a little bit long of a video, but it's so worth watching for how I came from point A to point B with this costume, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Definitely comment down below and let me know if you do, and thumbs up, whatever, share it. I just hope this inspires some of you to do the same. When you have an idea in your head, you can create it, and if you can't tell, I'm really excited about this and how it turned out. So definitely keep watching, and I'm actually going to link a blog post down below. I kind of wrote out the instructions for this. So if you're going to redo this, definitely watch the video and read the blog post at the same time so that they're kind of complementary to each other. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Definitely stay tuned to the end. Bye! So I found this dress at Goodwill, and I'm only going to use this top bodice part after the seam right here. So I'm going to seam rip all of that. I mean, this won't be a step for everyone, but I just wanted you to kind of see the transformation from where I started. So as you can see, now it's just a bodice, basically. And I seam ripped all across here, and then on the back I just cut it because there wasn't a seam. And I'm just going to basically probably trim this more and then finish this off with my sewing machine. I had to cut across the zipper too, so I'm gonna sew on here so that it will be a successful zipper and will not unzip all the way. So here's the bodice at this point. Got this interfacing, so it's just kind of a thick material that can give some volume to when you put it inside of other fabrics. So here's my gold fabric I'm going to use for the belt. I went ahead and put a big piece of interfacing on top of the bodice and sketched out the shape that I liked. Then I cut it out, and make sure you have a long enough piece that will wrap around you. So I put the top on just so I could see how the belt was coming along. So it's going to be kind of like this. I'm going to start using this interfacing and use the gold fabric. Go ahead and glue down all the straight edges around the interfacing and make sure it's nice and tight around the interfacing. This is all glued on both sides except for this part right here. So I'm going to do a little snipping. See, now you can see that it's kind of laying flat again. Here I'm just individually gluing down all those pieces that you snipped, and that'll help shape the belt, and just make sure that you get it nice and snug against the interfacing like I said before. Here it is so far, and I'm just gonna kind of figure out where I need to trim it in the back. So you can see I have excess here. Okay, so I'm going to trim it a little. Make sure to leave about 1.5 to 2 inches excess, and then fold over that excess and glue it down. Then trim the hook portion of the bra extension off. So on the inside of the belt, I'm putting this bra type attachment thing and having two of the hook things to show. So I attached this onto, I guess this is called the eye part of like the bra strap, and now I'm going to attach the hook onto the other side. So here's what I got so far. This is attached with the bra type thing. Here's the belt, and on the inside I attached the bra attachment. So voila! I have scraps of interfacing with the gold on it already. I went ahead and applied glue on one of the raw edges and folded that down, then trimmed the other side and did the same thing. Please make sure not to burn your fingers because I did quite a few times. I'm going to sew this down on one side right here, and then I'm going to Velcro that side on the inside here. So here's the belt, and then here's my rope. I got this from Joann's. Okay, so the belt is pretty much done. So I'm just going to cut pieces off of the scraps of interfacing and work on the top edge right now, and then basically I'm going to be covering those pieces in gold fabric and gluing them on. I started off by pulling up a picture of the original Wonder Woman costume onto my phone, and I just kept looking at that while I did this. So I took some scrap pieces of interfacing and started pinning them down to the bodice and shaping them around it. And I took my scissors and started snipping and cutting the pieces of interfacing into the shape that I liked. It's definitely not the exact same as the picture, but I think it's got the same kind of lines and the same idea. I'd say my #1 tip with this is just be patient and take it slow. Okay, there's one side. Now I just need to duplicate these pieces and then I'll be back. So I cut out 2 of each of these, and I'm going to attach the gold fabric. Just to kind of give you an idea what I'm doing, I'm putting the interfacing on the gold fabric, and I'm snipping and forming it around, forming the gold around it and pinning it, and then I'm just going to sew along the edges. So after I was done sewing all of that, I started gluing down the pieces to the bodice, and you just kind of have to do this slowly and make sure that they mirror each other on each side. Okay, good morning. Got my big cup of coffee. So, status update. No makeup. Just woke up a little while ago, had breakfast. So basically last night I started around 8 p.m. working on this, and I went to bed around 2:30 only because I was keeping my mom up. Sorry, Mom. I would have kept going if she hadn't asked me to go to bed. Here's where I stopped last night. These guys are already glued on, and these pieces right here need to be glued on. I went ahead and painted some round yellow earrings red because I noticed that she was actually wearing some earrings in the picture. I shaped a couple cuffs with the interfacing and then used the same gold fabric technique with the gluing and the snipping around each cuff, and then I took some Velcro and made sure that the cuffs fit and looked like the picture. And here's a little slow motion just so you can kind of see the placement here. And then I started drawing out stars for the cuffs and also a third one for the headband. So here I'm just cutting that out, and there's the 3. I then glued down the 2 stars to the cuffs. got this at Joann's like right when I was checking out, and this was the last thing I needed, and it was in the dollar section, and I was so happy. So again, looking at the picture for inspiration, I trimmed the tiara a little bit and then glued it down to the inner facing, trimmed the excess, and then did the same sort of snipping technique and gluing all around the tiara. And then I will glue that onto some gold fabric and did the same exact thing as before and gluing on that last star. If you saw the picture of the blue pants that I bought, so here's the length of the pant. I decided to make them into shorts. So I already cut one side and marked it off with pins. So I just wanted to update you guys. Here are the shorts. I just cut them, but basically I have one more step left. I cut them, cut both legs, and then on the inside hem I sewed bias tape on around, and now I'm just gonna probably do a top stitch. But that's an easy way of hemming pants like this, is to measure everything out, trim them, and then use bias tape and then top stitch. Then it doesn't stretch around or anything. So here's the front of the shorts, and now I'm going to do the stars that are on the front. It looks like 18 small ones and one a little bit bigger. Here I'm sketching out the star template on inner facing, and then I cut out 18 small ones and one bigger one, and you can cut multiple ones at a time here. I am pinning down where I'd like to glue down all the stars, and make sure to do this before you start gluing. And then I used fabric glue to glue them all down.